All right, get ready, because today we're going deep into Reddit to find out what people really think about those who call themselves alpha males.
Oh, yeah.
We're going through a popular Rask Reddit thread, and let me tell you, the internet did not hold back.
No, they did not. It's true. This particular question sparked a ton of responses.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Thousands.
Clearly, it struck a nerve.
Yeah, for sure. So Rask Reddit is known for, like, its honesty, right?
Yeah.
This thread is no exception.
It's raw and unfiltered.
Yeah, okay, so let's set the scene for our listeners.
Okay.
The question was simply, what comes to mind when a man refers to himself as an alpha male?
Simple question.
And the responses were wild.
Oh, yeah.
They're a roller coaster of hilarious roasts
Uh-huh.
and surprisingly insightful commentary.
Yeah, it's fascinating how, like, amidst the jokes and jabs, clear patterns emerge.
Yeah,
And it gives us a glimpse into how societal perceptions of masculinity are, like, evolving.
okay, interesting. So one of the most prominent themes that we saw was this idea that self-proclaimed alphas are actually deeply insecure.
Yeah.
Like, is that what the internet thinks?
Insecure.
That if you have to shout it from the rooftops,
Yeah.
maybe you're not as confident as you're trying to appear.
If you have to put a label on it, right?
There's this one comment I think sums it up perfectly.
Why?
It says, if you give that much of a shit what others think about you, that you have to put a label on it, you defy your own definition.
Oh,
Right?
that's so true.
That's such a good point.
Like, true confidence speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It begs the question, what are these guys trying to compensate for?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's
Right.
going on?
Yeah.
And then it gets even more interesting
Okay.
when you see all the responses connecting alpha male rhetoric and misogyny.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
people are pointing out how this language is
Yeah.
often used to, like,
Right.
justify a need to dominate women
Yes.
and reinforce harmful gender stereotypes.
Yeah, there's this underlying current in a lot of the comments that suggests people are picking up on the inherent sexism embedded in this whole alpha persona.
Yeah, and there were a lot of comments straight up calling out Andrew Tate
Yes.
as, like, the poster child for this type of behavior.
Right.
Like, have we made him this symbol?
It's so
What
interesting.
happens when alpha male ideology
Yeah.
goes unchecked?
How certain figures become almost like
Oh, yeah,
archetypes
Oh,
for particular behaviors or ideologies.
totally.
And Tate's prominence in this conversation
Yeah.
speaks volumes about how his persona has been
Right.
received and interpreted,
Yeah.
especially by, like, younger generations.
It's scary to think about, like,
Yeah.
how much influence figures like that
Right.
have on shaping young men's
Exactly.
views on masculinity
Yeah.
and relationships.
It highlights how these seemingly simple
Yeah.
Reddit roasts can actually tap into
Right.
some very real and complex
Yes.
societal issues.
Okay, so we've talked about insecurity,
Okay.
misogyny, but we can't move on without addressing the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Or, should I say, the wolf pack missing its alpha.
Oh, the lone wolf.
Yeah.
The lone wolf.
What about all those lone wolf references?
Yeah, the lone wolf trope, often found lurking in the shadows of
Yeah.
the alpha male persona.
Totally. So many commenters pointed out how this Declaration of Independence actually comes across as like a desperate plea for attention and validation.
Like, look at me, I'm a lone wolf.
Yeah, exactly.
But really, they want to be part of the pack deep down.
They're trying to, like, romanticize their isolation.
Yes.
As if being alone makes
Yeah.
them superior or more intriguing.
The irony is palpable.
Oh, it is.
Right.
And it's so funny. Some Redditors even quoted that hilarious scene from The Hangover
Oh, yeah.
where Alan's talking about adding people to his wolf pack.
Hilarious.
Like, come on, guys. We see through this.
Yeah.
It's a classic example of how humor
Yeah.
can expose the absurdity
Right.
of certain, like, social posturing.
It's hard to take yourself seriously after being
Oh.
reminded of that.
Yeah. And speaking of humor,
Okay.
we have to address the absolute avalanche of comments about,
Yeah.
shall we say, small dick energy.
Oh, my goodness. Stubby was everywhere.
Yeah, it really was. They did not hold back.
No, they didn't. It seems like they found this
Yeah.
humorously cutting way to undercut the alpha image,
Yeah.
implying that true strength doesn't come from
Right.
external displays of masculinity, but from something deeper.
Okay, so we talked about the humor, but this thread also sparked some genuinely insightful conversations about what it means to be a strong and confident person in today's world.
Okay,
And this is where it gets really interesting.
let's dive in. What else did you uncover
So-
in the depths of this Axe Reddit thread?
Yeah, so let's dive in.
So many of the comments actually went beyond just critiquing the alpha male
Yeah.
and started to paint a picture of, like, what they do admire in others.
Yeah.
Like, Qualities like kindness, a sense of humor, being a good listener.
Yeah.
You know, things that actually make someone a decent person to be around.
Basically, it's like, who needs a loud chest-thumping alpha where you can have someone who's emotionally intelligent, supportive, and genuinely cares about others?
And that's a huge shift from that traditional alpha archetype.
Yeah, totally. It's not about
dominance
or control.
Anymore. It's about
What is it about?
empathy and connection,
Right.
recognizing strength and vulnerability
Yes.
and compassion.
There was one comment that really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
It said something like,
Okay.
the smartest and most capable people I've ever met never had to brag about their accomplishments. Their actions spoke for themselves.
Powerful.
Right.
That's a powerful observation.
Yeah, it's like true confidence doesn't require constant validation or self-promotion.
It comes
from a place of inner security and self-awareness.
Yes.
So it makes you wonder,
Okay.
are we finally starting to move past these outdated ideas of alpha and beta?
Yeah.
Are those labels even relevant in today's world?
It's a valid question.
Yeah.
The way we view gender roles
Right.
and expressions of masculinity are constantly evolving. And this Reddit thread is like a snapshot of that evolution in action.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe the traditional alpha just doesn't resonate with people anymore.
And, you know, it's not just about men either.
Right.
A lot of the comments touched on the prayer women faced to be attracted to this, like,
Oh, yeah.
alpha male archetype,
Yeah,
even when it's clearly toxic.
absolutely. That's such an important point.
Yeah.
This conversation about masculinity
Yeah.
is deeply intertwined with societal expectations placed on women.
It's like we're all caught in this web of
Yes.
outdated gender norms.
Yeah.
And we're finally starting to realize how limiting and damaging they can be.
And that's where the power of these online conversations comes in. And
Okay.
the internet, for all its flaws,
Yeah.
can be an incredible platform to
Yeah.
challenging these norms
Yeah.
and sharing diverse perspectives.
Totally.
It gives people a space to
Yeah.
question the status quo and imagine something better.
It's like this collective eye roll
Yes.
at the absurdity of it all. We're saying, we see right through you, alpha male.
Exactly.
Your act is getting old.
And that collective voice is
Sure.
powerful. It's pushing us towards a more nuanced and inclusive understanding of what it means to be strong and confident.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that true strength doesn't come from fitting into a predefined box,
Yeah.
but from embracing our individuality
Yeah.
and celebrating the full range of human emotions and experiences.
So what does this all mean?
Yeah.
Are we witnessing the death of the alpha male?
Ooh.
Is this just a passing internet trend?
Right.
Or is something bigger happening here?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I think so.
It's hard to say for sure, but I think this Reddit thread points to a broader cultural shift.
Okay.
There's a growing awareness of the harmful effects of toxic masculinity
Right.
and a rejection of rigid gender stereotypes.
Yeah.
People are embracing
Yeah.
more diverse and inclusive definitions
Yeah.
of what it means to be strong, confident, and successful.
It's almost like we're realizing that the qualities
Yes.
that will really set us apart
Yeah.
in a world that's increasingly complex
Right.
and interconnected are not aggression and dominance,
Right.
but empathy
Yes.
and the ability to build meaningful connections.
That's a really insightful way to put it.
Yeah.
Maybe the future of masculinity isn't about being an alpha,
Right.
but about being like decent human being.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty optimistic about that future.
Well, this deep dive has shown that even in the depths of the internet, where anonymity often reigns supreme,
Yeah.
there's a strong undercurrent of artfulness, humor, and a desire for something better.
It's a good reminder that
Yeah.
even in the most unexpected places,
Right.
we can find these glimmers of hope
Yeah.
and progress. So, to all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
what do you think are the qualities of a genuinely strong and confident person,
Good question.
regardless of gender?
Mm-hmm.
Do traditional ideas of alpha and beta still hold up
Right.
in today's world?
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into
Yeah.
the wild world of Reddit,
Uh-huh.
don't forget to like this video.
Yes.
And subscribe to Shauna Polidge's YouTube channel for more thought-provoking content on Voices of the Soul.
Yes, please do.
And be sure to share it with your friends. Let's spread the word.
Yeah.
Keep these important conversations going.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it really does feel like something is shifting.
Like we're really starting to question these old ideas about what it means to be a man.
Yeah.
Or even like just a strong and confident person.
Yeah. And that questioning is
Yeah.
so important.
It is, that's how we dismantle harmful stereotypes and
Yeah.
create space for a
Yeah.
wider range of expressions
Right.
and experiences.
And I think this Reddit thread,
Yeah.
with all its humor and sarcasm,
Yeah.
is actually a great example of that process in action.
Totally. It's like underneath all those jokes and roasts,
Yeah.
there's this
Yeah.
genuine desire
Yeah.
for something more authentic, something that goes beyond these superficial labels of alpha and beta.
Right, and it's not just about tearing down the old.
No.
There's also this constructive element of the conversation where
Totally.
people are starting to define what they do value
Yeah.
in themselves and in others.
Absolutely. It's not enough to simply critique what's already there.
Right.
We need to offer
Yeah.
alternative visions.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing in this thread.
It's like they're saying, hey, here's what real strength looks like.
Yeah.
It's not about dominating others, or
Right.
putting on a show of power. It's about showing up authentically
Yeah.
with compassion
Yes.
and a willingness to be vulnerable.
And those are qualities that are valuable in any person,
Right.
regardless of gender.
Agree.
It's about moving beyond those rigid categories
Yeah.
and embracing the full spectrum of human experience.
Okay, so to all of our listeners out there,
Yes.
what do you think are the qualities of a genuinely strong and confident person? Do traditional ideas of alpha and beta even make sense
Good question.
in today's world?
Yeah.
Tell us what you think in the comments.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Reddit, don't forget to like this video.
Yes.
Subscribe to Shauna Polidge's YouTube channel
Yes.
for more thought-provoking conversations on Voices of the Soul.
Please.
And be sure to share it with your friends.
Yes, spread the word.
Let's keep the conversation going.
Thanks for joining us.